Okay, hi again. So we see the D'Alembert's principle for rotary motion. Just now we have completed in the previous video D'Alembert principle for linear motion. This is nothing but D'Alembert principle for rotary motion, fixed rotation. We can call it as fixed rotation. So now D'Alembert for linear motion, Newton's second law will be F is equal to ma. Okay, now m is equal to I alpha. We consider for rotation m is equal to I alpha. As you see in the pulleys, there are two pulleys. I mean, single pulley. They are. He just saying that if the weight is when weight is acting downwards, when weight acts downwards, linear motion, this body will rotate. This is what happening. We have to concentrate on this rotary motion. So the load is acting vertically down and the pulley is rotating. The load is acting down, the pulley is rotating. So that ma is replaced with I alpha. So for rotary, ma will be considered as I alpha. So it means I alpha is nothing but the inertia for the rotating bodies, and ma is nothing but the inertia for the linearly moving bodies. That's it. Clear. So now D'Alembert for rotary motion. There's an I have written with the pen. Okay, okay. So rotary motion, it means F is acting downwards, and it is nothing but radius r of the pulley which is rotating, and this is rotational acceleration. So rotational acceleration is nothing but alpha. Linear acceleration will be a rotational acceleration, that is known as angular acceleration. Angular acceleration is nothing but alpha, and force F is nothing but F is acting downwards and the pulley is rotating. So here for linear motion F is equal to ma. F is equal to ma. And then for rotary m is equal to I alpha. For rotary m is equal to I alpha. This is the D'Alembert's principle. So whenever you hear the word D'Alembert principle, you should not remember F is equal to ma only. That F is equal to ma is for linear motion. If for rotary motion, if you want to apply moment of inertia, if you want to apply a D'Alembert principle for rotary motion, then the D'Alembert principle will be m is equal to I alpha, where m is equal to moment. Rotation means moment. And I is equal to moment of inertia. We know that I is equal to moment of inertia, and alpha is nothing but angular acceleration. Now this will be the inertia and this will be the applied. That applied will be equal to inertia, then it will be in equilibrium. That is the D'Alembert intention. So let us consider a wheel or pulley rotating about a fixed axis. As you seen, wheel, D'Alembert principle, m is equal to I alpha, m minus I alpha is equal to 0, because where m is equal to applied force to rotate and I alpha is equal to the inertia by which the body is protecting itself from being rotated. I alpha is equal to 0. M is equal to resultant moment and I is equal to mr square by 2. So moment of inertia for rotational body, for a rotating disc or rotational round body, there is a standard formula for moment of inertia. I is equal to mr square by 2. We have seen this in moment of inertia concept. Clear? I is equal to mr square by 2, or we can call it as mk square, where k is equal to radius of gyration, where k is equal to radius of gyration. Sometimes in problems he will not mention radius, so he will mention radius of gyration. Then for finding I, we should go through mk square. So mass of the wheel, where m is equal to mass of the wheel and k is equal to radius of gyration. So now a flywheel of mass 8 tons starts from rest and gets up a speed of 180 rpm. Rpm is nothing but revolution per minute. So in 60 seconds the wheel is taking 180 rotations. Okay, find the average torque exerted on it if the radius of gyration of the flywheel is 60 centimeters. So here the radius is not given of the flywheel, he has given the radius of gyration. So it means he has given k is equal to 60 centimeters. So given data, mass of the flywheel m is equal to 8 tons, that is nothing but 8000 kg. 1 ton is equal to 1000 kg. So 8000 kg. Initial angular velocity omega naught is equal to 0, because it starts from rest. When whatever the body it is, if it starts from rest, then the initial velocity will be 0. If it leads to rest, or it has ended it has reached to rest, it means the final velocity will be 0. I have already told you, I have already discussed this point in the previous videos. Final angular velocity omega will be 180 rpm, that is 180 into 2 pi by 60, we know the formula, 6 pi radians per second. Time t is equal to 3 minutes, that is equal to 180 seconds. wheels, and radius of gyration of the flywheel k is equal to 60 centimeters, that is equal to 0.6 meters. Alpha is equal to constant angulation of flywheel. We know that I is equal to mk square. I have already told you I is nothing but moment of inertia, and the formula for the moment of inertia of the wheel is I is equal to mk square, 8000 into 0.6 whole square. Okay. And final angular velocity of the flywheel omega, that is nothing but that is v is equal to u plus at. V is equal to u plus at. So now v is equal to u plus at will be converted as, I will tell you, concentrate on this point. V is equal to u plus at. This is for linear motion. V is the final velocity, u is equal to initial velocity, a is equal to acceleration, t is equal to time. Now this formula will be converted for rotary motion, will be the final velocity for rotary motion is omega, that is equal to the initial velocity for rotary motion is omega naught plus the acceleration for the rotary angular acceleration will be alpha into t. So this formula will be converted as this formula. Okay. Now 6 pi is equal to omega naught plus alpha t, that is nothing but 0 plus alpha into 180, whatever you will find out alpha. Average torque exerted, T is equal to I alpha. So average torque exerted is equal to T is equal to I alpha, M is equal to I alpha, T is equal to I alpha, both are same. Moment and torque both are same. T is equal to I alpha. So substitute the values IA and alpha, the 302.4 in Newton per meters. Very good. Solve this problem again and again, you will get the point. So now there is a question like cylinder of mass 20 kg rotates is a frictionless bearing from rest in an under action of mass 15 kg, coiled by a rope wrapped around the cylinder. Like this is looks like an chapati maker in our kitchens, or ladies prepare rotis like that, Okay, the barrel is it is wrapped with wire to which a 15 kg weight is hanged. Now something is given, r is equal to 0.5 whatever. So to apply D'Alembert principle, F is equal to ma for linear. So here what happens is, here two motions are there, I will tell you. 15 kg is having linear motion and this barrel is having rotational motion. So we have to we have to solve the problem individually for linear motion and for rotary motion, both the cases. How? For linear motion, 15 kg block, I am considering 15 kg block. In my point of view, 15 kg block is going vertically down, it means the linear motion. So D'Alembert's F is equal to ma, substitute all the values, you will get it. And for roller, now consider the roller only. The roller is rotating due to 15 kg weight is creating some tension in the rope. So due to the tension in the rope only, the barrel is rotating. So apply m is equal to I alpha. For rotation, D'Alembert's will be m is equal to I alpha. For linear, D'Alembert's F is equal to ma. Clear? This is the best example. So substitute all the values, you will get all the unknown things. Okay. So similarly, you can do this problem also. You have any doubts, can call me. In this problem, I will tell you, I will give brief introduction about this problem. Here two pulleys are there and two different weights are connected to different pulleys. Here the large pulley and the small pulley, this is called large pulley, and large pulley is connected with 3000 newtons, and this is the small pulley is connected with the 5000 newtons. So here the problem will be calculated. This is the large pulley and this is the small pulley. Here for large pulley there is a linear motion, there is a rotary motion. For small pulley there is a linear motion, there is a rotary motion. So we have to submit all the values individually, then you will get the answer. So we have to do the problem in 4 steps: linear, 2 linears, 2 rotaries. So very easy, this is in the textbook also. So do this problem, we'll meet in the next video with the concept. Thank you for your concentration, thank you for your listening to my class, and will definitely meet you. If you have any doubts, this is very important, this is very tough to understand in online, I know, but I am asking you people to concentrate on these issues, concentrate on the problems, those are very easy. Okay, we'll meet in the next video. I will share all the PPTs with you soon. Okay, thank you very much.